Hi YouTubers, this is another video from your friendly neighborhood reviewer Evelyn. Today we're going to be reviewing the new episode from season 3 of Superman and Lois, starring Tyler Hoechlin as Clark Kent, aka Superman, and Betsy Tulloch as Lois Lane, wife of Superman and the mother of Jonathan and Jordan Kent, the twins of Superman, from my understanding. So we got left off from season 2 where there was the whole bizarre road situation going about, and of course Clark finding out about his otherworld mother, and of course the character of John Henry Irons, who is the other superhero of Steel, coming to terms of being on a planet after surviving, the infinite crisis with his daughter Natalie. We had that whole drama of Natalie arriving to Earth, and we do know in his world and his universe, John Henry Irons was married to Lois Lane and was Natalie's mother. So they had that whole mixed up dynamic, and of course in their world they had an evil Superman that went and killed Lois and destroyed the world. So season 2 was like Steel or John Irons coming to terms that this Superman is not evil, and his daughter as well having that same sort of feelings. So with episode 1 we come with the idea of what happens next, because the previous fortress that Clark had got destroyed, and now they have set up a new fortress in the middle of the ocean, like Antarctic let's say, where his mother now will be the new artificial intelligence or the soul for Clark. And of course we have the drama with the actors playing the twin sons, where Jordan, the same actor still playing Jordan, but with Jonathan Kent, the actor, for personal reasons left the show, so they recasted him with a new one. And his new actor's name is Michael Bishop. He looks, very similar to the previous actor of coincidentally Jordan Ailes. Not sure I'm pronouncing the boy's name right, so it's a little bit disconcerting getting used to the new actor, but the dynamics work well. So episode 1 is having a look at Jordan Kent more exploring his powers, because as we know, the one twin, the one with the curly hair, Jordan, he got the powers activated quicker than Jonathan, who was in season 2, that whole thing of that jealousy, of course, because of course you would want to have powers too if you see your sibling having powers and you're like, okay, I want that as well. So the main sticking point from episode 1 is Lois pregnant? Because they're investigating the Intergang with Bruno Mannheim, in which John Henry Irons of that world got murdered, and so there's that kind of mystery that's going to evolve, because we're still looking at who's the real bad guy for season 3. So episode 1 is having a look at more normal life stuff, where Jonathan is learning how to drive with his mom, and that kind of like, you know how it is when parents teach you, it's a bit more that added pressure. And then we have the other side story of Natalie and trying to get used to Lois's father, but of course she sees as her grandfather because they're identical faces. That Lois's father doesn't have the best speaking skills, as since he's a General Lane. So he takes out Natalie to the cinema, but he tells Natalie, oh, I think you should go to this kind of like, high school academy run by, his government. Since Natalie is really clever, can build robots and stuff, but of course Natalie took that offensive because she wanted to spend time with a person that looks exactly like her grandfather, but only to find out that maybe he had other agendas. So that's what's going on there. Because there's also the other part of the episode, we find that Clark is teaching his son Jordan more about his powers, but when trouble arises, Clark goes to, help people in whatever country where it's in the middle of the ocean to stop a metal tower from falling, but he finds that his son is already there, and there's that, friction created that Clark wants to keep his son safe and doesn't find him ready, but Jordan wants to already be like a superhero, be useful. And of course, that typical teenage drama that Jordan and Sarah are not really like together, and Sarah just wants to stay as friends for the meantime. But of course, Jordan being a young teenage boy still in love, he wants to be with Sarah, but then again, like, Jordan is a sucker. Sarah from season 1 to 2 kind of manipulated and kissed another girl, but despite all of that, Jordan was okay with all of that. And of course, we have the other bit within the episode that Lois has taken over the newspaper place in the Smallville, and now Clark is working with her. So now we have that tag team. Because of course, the biggest point, as we know typically with Clark and Lois, they've been like partners as journalists, figuring out stuff together. So I wonder how that'd be, having both of them work. And of course, the other journalist that's partners with Lois knows that Clark is Superman Superman, of course, from season 2, like Lana found out that her longtime friend and also like boyfriend at some point in their time, that he was Superman. So a couple more people, well, there's now a circle of people that know that Clark is Superman. But hopefully they don't want everybody knowing that Clark is Superman. So that would be, defeating the point. Let's not get into Flash territory. So episode 1 is the main thing of the Intergang, having this guy with powers, maybe enhanced or something, terrorizing the city. And the only thing we know that this mutant person with incredible strength is part of the Intergang. So I don't know if that's going to be one of the main big bad guys from the season. And we also get the ending shot of Bruno Mannheim having this kind of like resurrection drug type of deal, because the guy that had the powers, put in his name, see if I find it, he was on like had cancer, so this type of drug was keeping him still alive. The also storyline with Lana being now the mayor of Smallville, encountering maybe there's some corruption, because in the high school, after the damage from season 2 has mold infestation, but there's not enough money to fix the issues that's going on in the school, and so she decides to take money from one aspect of the town to another to fix the issue. But on the twins' birthday, this other politician guy that was running against Lana tells her, you have no idea what the heck you're doing, stop putting your nose in business in things that you don't understand. Ding ding ding. There's a storyline for Lana to uncover the corruption within the politicians of the town. There's also, going back to the whole possible if Lois is pregnant type of deal, she goes to a doctor that has connections with the Intergang, and the sister of John Henry Irons from that world. There was a bit of an argument, but Lois did legitimately go in and say her symptoms of like that exhibit as pregnancy. So there was that whole lingering question in episode 1, is Lois pregnant and what would it mean? I don't know exactly the specifics of the comics. The only thing I knew that there was a Jonathan Kent, the son, but then also in a different world they had 2 boys, but a Supergirl, a Superboy, God knows, and another child. From season 1, there was some explanations that Lois found it hard to get pregnant with Clark, and that they were pregnant with a girl that they called Natalie. So you see the same thing that in season 2, Lois was struggling in seeing her what could have been her daughter. Throughout the full episode, Clark knows that Lois could be pregnant, so both of them are debating if she is pregnant, what would be the ramifications. And of course, the sons that they do have is already almost, young adults, and do they want to go for another 15 years of raising another kid? But at the end, Lois gets told that she's not pregnant, but the doctor tells her that she is concerned about the symptoms that she is having and she might need further tests. And then we get the ending shot, of course, introducing Bruno Mannheim. So this is the review of episode 1 of season 3. Put your comments down below what you think about the first episode. I found the episode normal, slow, but still creating the backstory of what's going to happen, because I see 3 plots going about. Bruno Mannheim, Lois's possible pregnancy. I still think she is pregnant because this is Superman, so half alien, maybe it's the normal tests don't work. And then we have the third part of John Henry Irons probably finding out what happened to their version's world of himself, probably investigating that, and as well looking at Natalie's potential as also a brilliant architect or engineer, because she did help create the suit for her dad, making him out of steel, and also there was a suit for her. Okay, as I leave you always, stay safe,